Alright, I said I'd do a little video with the dirt of this Falls to Hotham circuit thing that I made up last week. The reason being, it's not a Parks Victoria walk, it's just something I made up myself. So I'll just go into a bit of it now. If you follow the videos, you probably picked up most of this anyway, but if you haven't, well, you've just arrived. So I did it in 5 days. I reckon the walk could be possible in 4. I pretty by the last day was a 3-hour walk for me, and some of the days I was pretty well cruising. But having said that, 6 or 7 will be good too. There's plenty of opportunities to vary the spots you stop at. You wouldn't always have to stop where I did. There's campsites everywhere up there. I didn't pay for on the official Falls to Hotham Walk, which was the first bit of the walk from Heathy Spur car park over to Mount Lock. I didn't pay for the flash camping platforms. I don't really like camping on platforms anyway if I don't have to, and so it seemed pointless for me. So yeah, I just found a patch of grass somewhere and camped, and there's plenty of opportunities for that. The Falls to Hotham leg, the initial Falls to Hotham leg, is mostly also along the AAWT and follows the Goin to Hotham pole line, except for the first bit up Heathy Spur about 3 or 4 k's. The rest of it's shared with the AAWT and the Goin to Hotham pole line. So navigation is particularly easy on the Falls to Hotham section of the walk. From Hotham back to Falls, I went via Feathertop, and that needs a little bit more nav. It's still pretty easy, but there's more to it. Like, I walked a series of different tracks. So I walked from Mount Lock. I kind of meandered down the Alpine Road, the Great Alpine Road, for about, that'd be a kilometre, if that, to pick up the Razorback. And then I followed the Razorback obviously all the way out to Mount Feathertop. After climbing Feathertop and chilling out for a while, I went back to the top of Diamantina and dropped down Diamantina Spur. The descent down Diamantina is probably the crux of the whole walk. It's pretty steep and slippery. I'm not sure whether it's better to go up Diamantina or down, to be honest. Down, you've got to be careful. If you slip, you're not going to stop. Going up, you don't have to worry about slipping, but it's very steep. But anyway, look, yeah, so I went down Diamantina, along Dungeys. I hit the West Kiwa River, and then up Dungeys track to Blair's Hut. From Blair's Hut, I went up to Weston's Hut, which I'd never done before, which was a really nice walk. From Weston's, kept going up to pole 333 on the pole line, the Alpine track, and then from pole 333 I followed the Tawonga Huts track down to Tawonga Huts, did the Jamitmathong side trip, and then returned to Tawonga Huts and went out to Pretty Valley. I'm not sure of the name of that track. It could be just the Pretty Valley to Tawonga Huts track for all I know. It's probably got a proper name though. But anyone who's walked there would know it. And then from Pretty Valley, I climbed up into the Falls Creek ski resort, and where I could see Rocky Valley storage below me, and I just picked a ski run to drop down to Rocky Valley storage. I dropped down near the not the Basalt Temple, the ruined castle. Just dropped down a ski run. Once I got down to Rocky Valley, there's a dirt road that runs, or a dirt track that runs along the bottom of the shoreline of Rocky Valley, and I just followed that back to the dam wall and across to Heathy Spur, and I was finished. But obviously that's not marked as a Falls to Hotham walk or, you know, an Alpine track or something. It's a series of different tracks. The only off-track section was really of any length was where I dropped down to meet Rocky Valley from the tops down the ski slopes. But by nature, they're open grassy slopes or low shrubs. So the navigation unless the weather was atrocious, the navigation's pretty easy. You just got to pick the right slope that's not too scrubby. As far as nav goes, I used a rooftop topo, and I also created a map on AllTrails, which I downloaded so I could use offline, and that was heaps for me. Yeah, but you've got to remember that I have walked up there for 40 years, so I do know the area reasonably well, most of it. Water on this walk is generally pretty good for the most part. When I went through after a particularly hot and fairly dry summer, most of the known spots had water. The creek near Derrick Hut on the Falls to Hotham, the last hut on the Falls to Hotham official route is dry, and there's no tank at Derrick Hut, I don't think, that I noticed. I picked up water though after I left Derrick Hut. I went to the Mount Lock Visitor Centre, that new space age visitor centre there, and that had cold water and everything you could need. The other one you have to watch as far as water goes is the tank out at Federation Hut on the Razorback, or bottom of Mount Feathertop. The tank had water when I went in because there was a bit of snow and rain on the weekend previous, but there are a lot of school groups up there, so I don't think that tank would last. You may have to go around to the spring on MUMC, towards MUMC Hut. That spring would be reliable. So yeah, I also carried water from the Mount Lock Visitor Centre around to my high camp on the Razorback. If you're going to camp on the Razorback, you're going to have to carry water. There's no like surface water on the Razorback. And if you do camp on the Razorback, please don't have fires or anything like that, because it's pretty sensitive up there. Just enjoy the view from the snowgrass. This walk, unlike my McMillan's track walk, this walk's got a lot of mobile service, providing you with Telstra, I guess, that I don't know what the other carriers are like. You pretty well got service that you can get online all the way, except for when you drop down through the valley. So West Kiwa, down at Blair's Hut, didn't have service. Gibbons Hut didn't have service, I don't think. But pretty well everywhere else across the high plains. If you haven't got it, wait 5 minutes and you'll have it. It's pretty good as far as mobile service if you want to keep up with your socials or catch up with a loved one. Now, like I said, I made this up on the run a little bit. If you wanted to change this walk, my initial plan was to go to Hotham, spend 2 days there. I was going to start the general, and then wander back a different way. Maybe come back in 2 days. So still do it in 5 days, but have a day in Hotham where I just did a day walk. The general was booked out when I went through for a wedding, which is the 2 days that I was going to be there was booked out, which is highly unusual. So that's an option if anyone wants to, change it up or a bit of luxury. You can start the general for a couple of nights. The other option is doing it one way, like the official Falls to Hotham walk, and using a shuttle service to get you back to your vehicle at the other end. It's a massive shuttle though, but there are companies that do it. I'm not sure of the cost because I just didn't even consider it. I'd rather walk it. I think Snowdog will be worth giving a call to if you wanted to do a shuttle. I'm pretty sure they do it. There may be others as well, I guess. As far as buying anything or supplies, the only place that potentially I could have bought stuff was when I got to Mount Lock, if I had have decided to drop down to the general, or if I was staying there, but I wasn't. But I could have gone down to there's a little bit of a supermarket. It's pretty basic, but you could normally, buy basics there out of season. And I mean, of course, you can grab a beer or have a feed. But because I wasn't staying there, it's a fair Devonport village. The general's at Devonport village, not Hotham Heights. So it's from the Mount Lock car park. It's probably about a 3K walk, I'm guessing, each way. So I just wasn't really interested. I had everything I need. So yeah, look, that's the dirt on my little made up walk up at we'll call it the Falls to Hotham circuit. If anyone has got any questions or any any suggestions, feel free to leave it in the comments. If they're questions, I'll try and get back to you. Obviously, the usual kind of, I might be away out in the bush for a while, so it might take me a while to get back to you, but I will try and get back to you. All right, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that walk, because I really enjoyed it. All right, take it easy. Catch you on the next one.